Becoming a woman in politics was quite an easy step for me. I was encouraged quite a bit. Now, the first election that I ran in, I wasn't going to win. I wasn't going to win. And David Ford, actually, of the Alliance Party, was leader at the time, and he said, see how you bounce back. See how you cope with this, because you will become under the spotlight. So when I became a woman in politics, it was understanding that all of a sudden you weren't that community and voluntary worker in the background, or who chaired a meeting, or who sat alongside, a policy group. All of a sudden you were thrust into the spotlight. So being a woman in politics, it was quite difficult having my private life brought into the fore. But also being a woman in politics, I come from a party where we don't have quotas. It's very much everybody's recognised for their own strength. So I didn't have any difficulty going forward for nomination or selection and then running for an election. At the end of the day, it's the electorate out there that decides. And women do tend to do quite well in elections once the voters get to tick beside your name. But when I got to chambers, oh my goodness, council was horrendous. It was catcalling, snorting. It was derogatory remarks. There was comments made. There was one councillor who I won't name who thought that he could undermine me by staring at my breasts the whole way through every conversation. That's all he ever did. Ignorant man. But that side of things didn't necessarily change for the better when I went to the assembly. It's not the big grown-up assembly. There are still snorting and heckling and catcalling, and that's quite a male-dominated. You don't get the female MLAs shouting at each other across the chamber. If somebody needs to stand up to have, to interrupt someone, to have a part of the debate, that's done with respect. But sometimes the way that male politicians behave is atrocious.